At Google, a few months ago, we did some research and talked to a number of marketers, and what we found was that 84% of marketers said that they'd spend more money on digital, more brand money on digital, up to 25% more if digital measurement improved dramatically. 86% of them said that the silver bullet was a trustworthy and scalable engagement metric. And most telling, perhaps, was the fact that 70% of those brand marketers said that they'd shift from traditional channels to digital if there was a way to tie that online activity to actual sales in stores. So with numbers like these, it's really no surprise that even though if you add up all the digital channels, the amount of content consumption that occurs on them is about 15% more than what happens on TV. But then if you look at the brand advertising pie, TV still is capturing a whopping 60% of that number. And if you think about the amount of brand dollars, true brand dollars that go to digital, that number is something like 10%. In a nutshell, and putting it quite simply, the lack of measurement in our space is keeping brands from reaching their audiences on the media that matters the most. And so I'd submit to everybody in this room today that the way to finally crack that nut for brand advertising and to have brands truly embrace digital, we really need a brand measurement revolution, if you will. And so what do I mean by that? What does a brand measurement revolution entail? Well, first, it means that we need to make brand measurement as measurable and actionable as direct response measurement is today. And that means that we need to revolutionize the metrics, not one by one, but collectively as an entire industry to give brands what they're looking for and deliver on this promise of actionability, openness, and transparency. And I'm going to keep coming back to those themes. The fact is today, if you think about brand measurement, it's not really that actionable. You get reports on how a campaign performs after the fact, days, weeks, or months after the campaign. And the insights that are gained from these reports often can't be used days, weeks, or months after they would have been useful. It's kind of like a coach giving feedback to his or her team after the game is already lost and completed. The team can never win a game unless they're getting real-time feedback from the coach. So actionable for us at Google means giving brands the ability to act on those insights in as near real time as possible so that they can take action now, not in the future. This notion of openness is really important as well. And by that, we mean that Google and all of our partners need to work together to create a set of common metrics, standards, currencies for the entire ecosystem that everybody can use. And finally, this notion of transparency is also important, which is that brand metrics can't just be standalone, siloed metrics. They need to create a common currency that's equally applicable to the buy side as well as the sell side, something that's useful to advertisers and agencies, but also to publishers. So keeping those ideas in mind, what I'd like to do is walk through three fundamental questions that frame the way that Google thinks about this problem of brand measurement and the way that we're looking to revolutionize the industry as it comes to this particular area. At the very outset, really table stakes, we must address this question of viewability. Many of you have heard me talk about this many times before. It's obviously a common topic throughout the industry, but we really have to solve this question of, did a real person actually see my ad? It's the first question that every single brand should ask. Last year, ComScore did a study that showed that up to 54% of all ads that run across the web are never seen by a human being. With a number like that, nothing else matters. So we want to aggressively tackle this problem. Google's working very closely, as Randy mentioned, with 3MS and with the MRC to create standards and metrics for the entire industry and to extend what we're doing not just on display, but to video and mobile as well. And the result of these partnerships and conversations should be a set of common standards and currencies for the entire industry. Google's contribution to this viewability discussion is a technology called ActiveView. ActiveView is designed to be deeply and seamlessly integrated into all of Google's products. It's going to provide real-time metrics around viewability for publishers and advertisers, and most importantly, it's going to allow publishers and advertisers to optimize based on viewable impressions live in real time. And so the notion here is we want to take this concept of viewability and we want to hold it up to the standards that I mentioned before, this notion of actionability, openness, and make sure that ActiveView lives up to those standards.